There's all these theories on what is Bigfoot. Like you said when you came in, you believe it could be interdimensional. Sure, it could, until someone disproves that. It could be. But here, I always start with like the most logical. What could it be? So here's facts that science agrees on, pseudoscience, everything. What you're seeing right there, minus the conical head, that's not something that you can kind of breed in or breed out. But everything else can be done by a human being, a Homo sapiens sapien. So if we all were to walk into the woods now, shed all of this civilized world that we live in, within 10 generations, you would be a wild person. Like when people saw you, they'd go, that's human, but that dude it's not a homeless person, that's a wild person, right? Within 100 generations, you would be half or more to that. By living out in nature, your jaw muscles would increase in size from eating meats more raw,
look at Schwarzenegger,
and fibrous foods.
Doesn't have to 100 generations.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to. Yeah, but your skin would darken because of more exposure to the elements. You would begin to grow hair more, and no lie, by 1,000 generations, you look like that minus the conical head. We would go back to being more part of animals, meaning that the men that were chosen to mate with would be the biggest large men. The women would be the best breeders, so to speak. And everyone, we would get naturally bigger, hairier and longer, and our look. One of the things, the way they hunt is in a spider crawl, because if you're an 8-foot to 12-foot creature, you can't just sneak up on things that way, and they're ambush predators. So they spend a lot of time low, and by moving lowly to the ground like this, you walk around like this for 1 year, and you will have the largest traps, the largest arms, the largest everything. And when this develops in your trapezius, and I have big trapezius, your neck begins to vanish, like a Bigfoot. They say they have no neck. And then if you spend more time hunched over with your hair going wild, having a bad hair day every day, and everything comes over, it would give the appearance of a conical head. But, so in a nutshell, human beings could 100% be what these relic hominids are that people are experiencing in the woods.
Or you can have a cross of human beings with chimpanzee or with gorilla, I don't know.
With other different races? You're saying there's a party in the woods and people are hooking up?
Who knows, man?
Weirder things have happened?
I mean, hey.
Yeah, we don't know, but we know that we had a bunch of different kinds. We had Homo erectus, Neanderthal, Denisovians. The list goes on. And supposedly, even though they all had intelligence, Neanderthal even had bigger brains than us. They had music, they had culture, they had art. We just won the breeding resource war and they died out and they're gone. And that's just what we're supposed to accept. I BS. They're out there. They're in groups, and they're just smart. They're like, humans, no thank you. You know what I mean? Because we are possessed.
How about those are the pretty much giants from the Bible?
The Nephilim, yeah.
Nephilim. Yep.
Why can't that be them? You go in all the ancient texts and everything. There are giants in everything.
And all the old maps, too.
All the old maps. What is the Smithsonian really doing? They're bone collectors.
No,
you
of
know
course.
What I mean? They're bone collectors. I hate to say it, but that's what they do. Because that throws the whole timeline, the whole theory, and everything off, possibly. Or maybe enough to disrupt the current, the current way that they govern us and control us. But it doesn't matter. I believe there are intelligent species live in the woods. Think about you. Imagine if you used 100% of your brain power to simply live in nature. No distractions. You'd be amazing. You'd speak every language of every animal in the woods. You'd know it. Just by standing there, you'd hear the echo of the animals going quiet as a predator enters your territory. And this is stuff we can learn.
And you're gonna become invisible to humans if you want to somehow.
Well, you already are. You just stand there; they'll walk right by you. No problem. No problem. But yeah, and we're not. Our culture doesn't emphasize awareness and stillness and oneness, which Taoism does, and that's why there's some amazing things about it. But these are things we hope to bring back here, and then the kids that walk here, and even adults, people got to be able to relearn too, right? Our parents did the best job they could, but they didn't do it. They didn't do us right in every way. And once you're old enough to understand that and look at it and stop being angry about it, you then can go, okay, now let's step into a better version of me. Yeah.
I have a question that I didn't ask you when I interviewed you. So,
yes.
Humans are seen in a primitive sense, in an intellectual sense that differentiates them from other animals, we are told.
Sure.
But we are also told that we were once cavemen and we're not intellectual when there's a lot of people who talk about Tartaria and ancient civilizations being more advanced.
Cavemen,
Yeah, so what do you... So what do you think? Do you think that we are evolving in our intellect and our moral character because we ended things like chattel slavery, or we ended like the monarchy in America, or were there better systems before that predate it, that were more anarchic, more voluntary in nature, that just weren't mapped out, that wasn't written down, or maybe wiped from history? Like, what do you think when it comes to evolution of humankind? Are we evolving or are we devolving? How do you navigate that?
I think it's the analogy that I gave before. My uncle had a very smart chicken. What do you do with that chicken that can get out, teach the other chickens to do it? You kill it, you eliminate it, so the herd stays still. I think there is always potential for us to launch and evolve. I think what you've helped create here is one of those places where goodness, true goodness, and that evolutionary or whatever adaptation leap, whatever we is happening. But if it gets too big, I believe that we're apex predators, all of us. We are all capable of completely dominating any environment you go into. But now when you have so many that we're not living in the laws of nature, where you don't have your space, my space, people on top of people, there will be a group of apex predators above the apex predators that will shepherd them. And I believe it's that simple. I think that is how our world is run. And it's like, what was that movie with Jack Nicholson where they're like, yeah, you can change the world if you want, but you're going to have to tear it out of my cold, dead mother beeping hands. You know what I mean? And that's really it. The revolution is truly the only way, because at the end of the day, we are all apex predators, and we're going to do the damn best we can for our family and those that we love and our system. And that's what I think. But I don't know. And you say Tartare, you say these things. Oh, yeah, I think this is like an ant box, you know? And every once in a while, they go, all right, they get a little smart in there. They're building a ladder and just shake.
Right, because it seems like things could change in different, now there's genetic manipulation.
But speaking about that, I don't believe we evolved. That was fusion of our DNA. It was now steady timeline, evolution. Like we came from the apes or something. It's a big BS. It's like, the fusion of our DNA. And the question is, with the vaccination, what we're doing right now, is this another fusion of our DNA and changing of that? Because history repeats. Because the evolution doesn't make sense completely.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
If it will be evolution, the apes will not exist anymore. Because
So what do you think, Corey?
No, I'm just gathering information. I'm learning. That's what it's about. I am not coming to any particular conclusion, but I do like ancient architecture, and I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. Why have we dumbed our architecture down to make it more practical or less expensive? When you look at these old things, it was like laser cut churches, so pristine that we stand there in awe today. They're not built like that anymore. They're built like boxes. I think there's a reason.
We're told there's like all these great coliseums built during the Great Depression, which doesn't really make sense. By one guy, within like a matter of 2 years, he built like 20 different buildings. It doesn't.
No. And why the World Fairs? Why would they build all those massive structures and destroy it? Now, with that said, though, I've been to Burning Man, and I've watched people in just a couple days build the most beautiful structures you've ever seen, and then within a week or two, destroy them. So it is possible, dude. If we put all our resources together and our big, beautiful hearts, we could build Rome in a day. But good luck.
Yeah, but during the Great Depression, one guy. Yeah. So I want to shift the conversation to what we can do. Here, give me the camera.
Okay.
Mr. Camera, it's my job. You get the spotlight. You travel the world for conferences on Bigfoot, all right? I'm not traveling the world for Bigfoot.
I wanted to say thank you too for sharing a lot of that information I hadn't heard before. So
I know, I've never
it's
heard
nice
of this.
To hear that from the expert here.
And going back to AI, you can go in AI and put what would human beings look like in 10, 100, and 1,000 generations, and you will see the progression to a hairy, wild man of the woods. And your feet naturally, the more barefoot you are, your feet fall, to grip better, and then the padding will increase, your toe spread increases, like you end up with the biggest foot for you. And then I think it's where the breeding comes in, where the largest people, the most healthy, the most capable people begin to lock off as other people die off. Then you got a guy who's 8-9 feet tall and it's Bigfoot,
The thing is that I was very new to Bigfoot, and hearing you speak, everything just makes sense so far. There's nothing I can really say, okay, what about this? So far, everything has been pretty spot on.
But we also know from fossils, if fossils are real and true, that there are like Gigantopithecus blackie and these other types of large land apes did exist. So there was a battle for resource, and there was all that stuff, but People don't know there's over 170 million acres of just forest untouched that you're not going into. Over 170 million mountainous regions that we're not going into. Like, if you really were to see just how much space there was, you'd be like, oh wow, there could be giant things out there. We would have no idea. You know how many people you need if you're a band or an artist of something, and you want to be successful, meaning your bills are paid, you have money, you're not wealthy, but you're living the life of an artist. You know how many devoted followers, lovers of your craft you actually need. And by devoted meaning, if you put an album out, they buy it. You print a T-shirt, they all buy it. Do you know how many?
I think it's 10% of
3%?
number. No. It's
Well, no, give me any number. Like, throw a number. Millions, 10 million, whatever you think it is. 5,000.
Well, that depends
One more
on the.
Basically, they did a TED talk on how many people, devoted followers, you actually need to be a working, successful artist, be a musician, an art, any kind of artist. And the number's not bad. It's attainable. So that's kind of a clue.
50?
10,000?
Which is great. 20,000. You need 20,000, but die hard. Like I said, you make something, they buy it. As a Bigfooter, my belief is, the more you get back to nature, the more they will either reveal themselves to you, or you will simply be able to finally see them because you're truly present. So our goal is to have a place that teaches people that presence. And with that presence comes the beauty of learning how to care for soil, for land, for animal, for each other. Look at this. With the road in, we will, if I don't know if you guys get a chance, we can walk you to the back, we can show you. We have enough space to do a wonderful either haunted hayride with a Kubota, get a trailer, put hay in it, bring people through, sell apple cider. Can you spot Bigfoot? I've got a Bigfoot suit, we can run through the woods. But we could create something beautiful for Halloween. He's talking specifically about Christmas, meaning we go to Santa's village in the back, where I can take you to where you go all the way to the back and you meet Santa. And you pay for this experience, and that experience is run by us, our special community, where we find who's the actor, who's the actress, who likes set design, who likes this, who likes that. We find our place, and then we put on this wonderful thing to bring magic into people, families. I'm family orientated, so I always see the tired parents like, what are we doing this weekend? Oh, God. But we provide that, and then the money goes back into the land. It goes back into the project.
We got the whole gang while I walk backwards and trip probably. Look at that. There's all these people for one plant. Totally worth it.
Taking the whole.
So much love. Yeah, I do the same thing. I just dance all over the soil to plant something.
Mulch? Okay.
All right, now hit me over the head so I get some good clickbait. Like, seriously, I don't know what to title the video.
You're willing to suffer for the crowd.
Yes, so more people watch. So John, yeah, thanks for filming me. So, what if you take a shovel, okay, and act like you're gonna hit me?
No.
But
no,
like,
no. No.
okay, no violence. Right. Actually,
No John looks bad on camera.
you're right. Okay. We planted the Tangelo trees, one there and one there, in this very full sun area. I'm like, everyone get out! But look at how much growth here. This is not even 2 weeks. We just got new papaya trees. Trimmed some of the bananas. The chickens were messing with a lot of the wood chips, so we have to fill that in and maybe even make a little bit of a cage in a sense with just fishing wire. But we also put in electroculture, right?
Hi, I'm doing. How you doing? I'm Dennis. Nice to meet you. Just talking about the papaya, the way to plant the best way to plant the papaya is by 3 plants in one same space, because you want to have female, male, and hermaphrodite. This is the thing, right? But you want to have female and male, or female and hermaphrodite. The best way is female and hermaphrodite, because it's gonna have the male flowers and the female flowers, and a hermaphrodite is gonna be more productive than the male. The male, they're gonna give you these thin, long papayas, yeah, because they're male. I mean, it's kind of the code. and women's are gonna be more like breath, right? More like papaya, right? So the way you know if the plant is female or male is because you check on the root, and if the root at the end is split, it's gonna be a female. And then when they grow, you can identify also by the flower. And then when you have three plants in only one place, then you take out the male, and you leave a male, a hermaphrodite, and the female, or the female and the male.
We've been using more of the garden soil thanks to Steve Phillips, brother of Cynthia, who runs affirmlifedaily.com. Check out her work, it's incredible. We're doing great here at Bigfoot Food Forest. This Saturday, we're getting a lot more stuff done in the ground, more wood chips. It's awesome.
Do you put the DNA? Okay, hello. Welcome to the Bigfoot Food Forest, where we learn through play and by having fun. So we are putting in sugarcane. And guess what you can do? You cut it right here, and then by licking it, you add a little bit of your own DNA, so that when this plant rises and comes up, it is tuned into you and your frequency, providing benefits or additional benefits to what is already something that's truly beneficial. Bigfoot Food
So show us
Forest.
how you do it.
So first, you gotta get the clippers. You want 2 nodes. They call them nodes. I didn't know that. I learned that today. You cut it kind of near the top, quick pop, and then you stare somebody right in the eyes, and you lick, and then you plant.
And then we all do it, and it becomes an initiation.
Well, that's next year. We haven't lost our minds in this yet. You know?
Awesome. Cool. And you can come here and get a little ride as well. And you can say hi to the turkey. And Miri is watering the plants. No one asked her to do that. Awesome.
Stealing one.
And she's stealing our
I'm
plants.
not leaving my DNA behind.
Caught on camera. Caught in 4K.
Here's
Wearing
the big
same shirts.
We're twinning. So if you like twinning, then you're gonna love this place. If you don't love twinning, you're still gonna love this
You're
place.
not in the group.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Do you have a Hawaiian shirt with pink flamingos and possibly Bigfoot?
That's how you get in. Otherwise, no entry.
No, look at all this, man. Like, I was just talking with Maddie, and it was like, you know, the only way to have community and like get together with people is either you go do a sporting event, get all hammered, which is fine. I'm not saying it isn't, or you go to some kind of church or synagogue or whatnot. But where can you get together with people and dig in the dirt? You know what I mean? And talk about the world and how we can make it better, but also dig into things that will make the future better. You know, like permaculture and everything like that. Like Corey's amazing. His heart has brought all this, and slowly we're becoming a larger community. Let's get both of us in there. And it's the double shirt that's gonna sell it. It's Tango and Cash. Come on now. But yeah, man, it's beautiful. Everyone feels better when you go to the beach, when you go into the woods, when you hang with good people, when you break bread together. So
When you lick,
oh yeah, you probably saw another video. Yeah, you gotta lick the sugarcane, put your DNA in it, and then it grows better for you. I don't know, but we're trying it. What do you guys think? If we would have done a shot of all of us down licking it at the same time, would that have been funny and cool and good clickbait? Or would that have been weird and we shouldn't do it?
come on, that would have been awesome.
You guys vote. No, you vote. If we get enough votes for yes, then we're going to take that shot and we're going to send it and we're going to see what happens with it.
All right. Yeah, tell us to do some crazy stuff on the land, and we'll do it.
Yeah.
do
Come
it.
up with some challenges for us that will help us raise, interest in this place so we get more people here. Because back to the thing, we want community. We want a place for people to go that doesn't, you don't have to be religious, you don't have to be political, you don't have to be anything. You can just be cool with nature.
Cool. So we got some clover in the ground. Look at all that clover. And then we put sweet potatoes, cranberry hibiscus, a bunch of different things, including more toilet paper plant. A lot of plants that we didn't think maybe would come through are coming through. Everything's growing. This whole circle is being populated, which is amazing, with more sweet potatoes along the whole side, more yucca. And we also have chaya, I think a guava or something, and then more sweet potatoes. We put them everywhere this time. We got a whole box from Irene, which is incredible. And look at all of the Mexican sunflower we're putting in. We're trying to make this a Mexican sunflower starting area, because that's going to take off. And then blackberries doing good. And then we just planted a bunch of these. Mexicans love cooking with this. This is prickly pear, right? And then we also had those cowpeas and sun hemp come through in these different areas. So you'll notice some of that is here. But the clover, we only planted that a week ago, and ever since then it's taken off. All that clover, we did crimson and white Dutch. And then Ken was super kind to get us a sprinkler system that is automatic and on a timer. And so now we're being replaced by robots.
I'm washing my ears off. Is that all right? Listen, when they show up, whether it's foreign soldiers from another country or politicians locally or, government agents or, aliens or whoever, when they show up, it's going to be No, I don't want your political ideologies. I don't want your poisons or injections or, you know, false notions.
Right.
What I would like is a banana. Do you want one?
Always
A
just telling the
banana
group,
from tree.
we're going to have a UFO meeting here. There's a big group here in St. Pete that's going to meet here. We're going to do something fun. One of the guys here suggested we do it during Halloween, which is funny. But we'll figure it out. It's going to be cool. There's also other groups like the Sobriety Society. We're posting on Meetup. We have our own Meetup page. There's also Eventbrite. So we're trying to spread the word, and they're sharing with us different gardens. So we're always open to feedback. Michelle's always worried. She's like, I don't know if it's always correct. I'm like, no, you are correct, Michelle. Everything's growing, so what do you have to worry about? But we got elderberry here, and she's putting more elderberry in, and she told me to skim some of these extra leaves here, just to make it easier on the plant.
Well, so that the roots can grow. The roots have energy to grow, and it's not going up to try to keep the leaves alive. And then it takes the leaves, because the best nutrition for a plant is its own waste.
Mm.
So it goes at the bottom of it, and it breaks down and feeds into helps with roots.
We got live action of John watering the banana trees.
Yeah. Water the banana trees.
Lots of water.
The purpose of the banana trees, for those that don't know, is to provide shade and covering for the lower lying fruits and vegetables that are being planted.
Yeah, but you can also chop and drop these, is what they call in permaculture, where you chop and drop and then you use these as the wood chips. You know, as the wood chips, put them in the ground. These are like all water too, so they love water.
The old stalks, as they break off too, can also become the natural barrier around the perimeter of the actual growing area.
Bananas could be used for so many things. People cook with these, people like eat all this, and they score out the core. Like, there's so many things you could do with these trees. I love bananas, and they give that real jungle foresty feel. So John, what's the latest revelation for today? Ryan's not here, so you got to provide us with wisdom.
Getting closer to nature and the earth is going to be the solution that fosters good health and unity and connection with others. We have some new people on site today, which is beautiful, because once they get a whiff of who we are and what we're actually doing, no agendas, no political landscapes,
Nope.
no ideologies or philosophies.
Right.
Just growing food, man.
All right, everyone can agree on it.
Being cool with each other. Like, that's the way life works, man.
Look at this. We already got a jungle entrance here, right here. I could just walk between these. Oh. And then one day it's gonna be so big, you're gonna be like, move out of the way. A lot of mulch, right? This helps so much. So look at that big mound of mulch we have on this banana tree.
Hi, I'm Magda. I am the nature lovers and nutritionist, so this is perfect place to be. And Cody has amazing project, so I am so happy and excited to put my hands to the work and help this community grow.
Awesome. Do you have a website or anything you want to share with people?
Yes, you can find me on the Facebook Magda Sommer. My website is also Magda Sommer, MAGDASOMMER.com.
Awesome.
And you can find me also on the Instagram, where is Reset Wellness Journey.
Wonderful.
So sandy soil, and you can see it doesn't really hold too much moisture.
Okay, right. So the wood chips help with
And
that.
it also does stay together, so that it doesn't have really great drainage. So if digging the holes, we're putting in a little bit of mulch so that we'll have drainage on the bottom, and then some soil and put some nutrients in there.
Wonderful. And then do you want to introduce yourself? We got a newcomer here.
Hi, I'm
Bigfoot Food
Tanya.
Forest. For anybody out there who's been watching these videos, who've been staying tuned to my journey, this is so important, because sometimes we delve into conversations about truth and freedom, but you know, so many people are detailing the problem. So many people are talking about all the little intricacies and details of how we're enslaved and what's going on. What we're doing here is we're demonstrating the solutions, things that people cannot deny, and opening their eyes so they can feel, they can sense, they can taste truth in nature. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to do a speech. You don't have to yell on the rooftops and sound like some crazy person. They don't think you're crazy when you're here, because they see that this is not taught in school. They see that this is an environment that heals them. They are healing just by being here. So help me make this possible. I am down, and for the first time in my life, my career essentially on YouTube, that if anybody wants to donate, whether it's plants, seeds, or money, or material, I am down. I'll experiment. If you have an idea, you say, I want you to get this, here's money, do it, show it, make a video about it, we'll do it. We'll make a whole thing about it, and I'll give thanks to you, I'll shout out your channel, whatever. But I have a, a buy me a coffee link. You can use that if you want to donate. That would be great for now, before we have more official systems set up. Because we're doing such amazing things. We're literally creating a bartering network where we're giving people silver coins. And we're spreading it around our communities, and we're encouraging people barter with each other, and encourage people trade with each other. And we're literally giving them wallets, and then we're giving our volunteers silver every time they're coming here and they're helping. We're literally creating the decentralized community, or potlucks and growing food. This is the future. This is what can heal so many people, and we want this for everyone. So help us make it possible. Thank you very much for watching. This is Corey. Nature is the answer. I'm always going to stay true to who I am, no matter with all the money, how much this builds up. This is what it's all about. It's all about nature. Thank you. Bye. All right. Cool. Thank you, everybody.